Hello, and welcome to the review show. I'm your host, JAMm, and
welcome to Lethal League Blaze!
Now, if you're like most people, then this is probably your first time hearing the words Lethal League and Blaze subsequently after each other. So I wouldn't blame you for going, the fuck is a Lethal League Blaze? And to that I say, slow down you so-and-so, I was about to get to that. Basically, Lethal League Blaze is a really fancy game of rock, paper, scissors. Or so I've been told. To be honest, I didn't really pay attention to my friend's explanation of the game. So in basic terms, imagine Smash Bros. And now imagine baseball. And now you need to combine the two, but get rid of the Smash characters. If that doesn't help, it's basically just a fighting game that revolves around hitting a baseball and making it go like pa-choom. I'll go more in depth in a bit, but as a filthy casual, I have to say, Lethal League Blaze is one of the most welcoming and interesting fighting games I have played. Period. I love everything about it, from the aesthetics to the soundtrack. The game just bangs. One quick thing I should note, I played this game on both PC and Switch, but I have mainly played on the Switch version, so I'll be primarily focusing on that version of Blaze. With that being said, Lethal League Blaze, which was developed by Team Reptile, is a sequel to the fighting game Lethal League, which came out in 2014 to firstly Windows and later to other operating systems and eventually to consoles in 2017. Lethal League was a 2D baseball-inspired fighting game. It appears that the original was more of a proof of concept, not a fully fleshed out experience. But I could be very wrong here. I've actually never played the original game. I've only played Blaze. So if I am wrong, please tell me in the comments. I'd like to make sure that it's all Gucci. Thank you. 1 year after the console ports, Lethal League Blaze came out onto PC in October of 2018 and was ported to all major consoles at the time in the summer of 2019. Lethal League Blaze added 5 new characters to the Lethal League roster, 3 of which were available from the game's launch and 2 were added within 2018 to 2019. But that's not all. Blaze is different visually, as it took the franchise into a new dimension, sorta. Lethal League Blaze is a 2.5D fighter. Blaze took inspiration from the Jet Set Radio franchise for its looks, and that's not the only place where it takes Jet Set inspiration. The fresh look also came with a funky soundtrack, and does it slap. The music takes heavy inspiration from the Jet Set Radio franchise. Hell, they even got one of the main composers from the Jet Set games to make a track, and it slaps so hard. I love you, Hideki, and I hope you find a Twitter wife one day. Blaze is also mechanically different to the original Lethal League. Firstly, Blaze gives you a safety buffer in the form of a health bar, where if the ball is at a slower speed and it touches you, you'll lose a small amount of your health. But big hits, or when the ball is freaking zooming, will result in you losing a stock. Stocks are essentially your lives. This is different to the first game, as in that you would lose a stock as soon as the ball touches you. Blaze also brought a new move to the table, the ability to grab or catch the ball. The introduction of the grab is apparently a game changer. The idea of being able to stop momentum at a moment's notice is nothing short of a stroke of genius, and it's also really funny to do. They also added items which are just broken, but I think that really adds to the fun of it all. Now that I've gotten the history and other waffle out of the way, let's get into the reason why you clicked on this video. Lethal League Blaze is an easy fighting game to approach, but it's hard to master. You can play it just by button mashing, or you can learn how to double jump, bunt, freeze the ball, and then end off by hitting your opponent in the head. Blaze really does its best to account for all types of players and playstyles, and this sort of accessibility is really beneficial, as it encourages all types of people to get into Blaze. Blaze is at its best when you're playing with friends and you get into an all-out brawl. I am trash at Smash, but I'm decent at Blaze. Like, my playstyle changes from spamming Yoshi down B to spamming Candyman, A, B, X, Y, the bumpers and triggers because it's funny. Unfortunately for me, my friends don't like Blaze and would rather play Smash, so I'm stuck with Yoshi down B for now. Maybe they will realize that Smash is boring and it's only good when a new character is added or announced. Sorry, not sorry. Cry more. Blaze has 12 characters in its roster, and each character has its own unique ability and twist on how to hit a ball. This is best shown with the ultimate abilities, also known as the special ability, or whatever you want to call them. Basically, it's a move that will charge up over the duration of the game. Once it's fully charged, you need to hit the ball twice, then it will activate the funny move. While I do love Blaze to death, and I mean that, it does have some major issues. Firstly, the online for Blaze, at least on Switch, is abysmal, and a desolate wasteland that is as alive as the Knack team. When there's another player, they're from the other side of the world, and because Blaze's online is peer-to-peer connection, chances are you're both gonna have a bad time. Constant delayed inputs and wild frame drops create this almost unplayable mess. But when you are finally able to play, this foreigner is gonna beat your ass, because they're just goated as hell at the game, and you're trash, let's be real. I've also noticed on the Switch version that there's a slight input delay. Blaze also suffers from a major lack of single player content. You have the story mode and then the arcade mode, and they're both kinda boring boring to replay after you've initially beaten them. I found myself going back to the arcade mode more than the story because the story is really boring to replay, and the story itself is just bizarre. It basically forces you to play as every character at least once, and forces you to play on every map at least once, while it just kind of throws a ton of boring cutscenes, if you can even call them that, where two characters will talk through text bubbles and then you play the next game. Arcade mode's basically the story mode without the unnecessary dialogue and exposition, and it allows the player to play as whoever the hell they want and fight everyone, including yourself, which is very cool. The copy fight is really unique, but it's a shame that it was the last fight before the boss fight. I feel like the clone battle should have been placed in the middle to make it feel more like a halfway boss fight rather than the penultimate battle. It would have introduced the player into the difficulty spike in a cool and interesting way, but hey, that's just my opinion. So you might be asking yourself, why should I get this game if the online sucks, the single player is kinda trash, and the only reason to play is when you're with your friends, at which point they'll say, no, boot up Smash instead. And to that I say, I don't know. Listen, there are a lot of cool things with Blaze, but I wouldn't actively encourage people to pick up Blaze unless it goes on sale. It's usually like £18, and it drops in price during most major sales of the year, so if you really want to get Blaze, wait till there is a price drop. Also, if you are going to get it, buy it for PC, because the Switch port is just miserable. It's missing the ranked game mode as well, and there's just a lot more online players on PC. But if you're only wanting Blaze for casual co-op gaming, then get it for a console, because I doubt you're going to carry your PC around to your mates, let's be real. But until they fix the online, add more things to do in the single player for content, and make the online cross-platform so there's an actually active player base, don't bother copying, just wait for it to go on sale. Overall, I would say that Blaze is a stylish and fresh fighting game, which suffers from a major lack of single player content and a rather subpar online on console. PC's better. As I've said, basically, buyers beware. This has been the review show. I'm still your host JAMm, and thanks for watching.